You know, I am so sick of all the dirty and despotic games being played by the left. Welcome to the Candids series, where it's just as it sounds. Candid, unscripted, right in the moment, because it's something that just needs to be talked about right now. So, let's get into this. There's a saying that goes around that really says that if the left didn't have double standards, they would have no standards at all. And that is absolutely true. Their hypocrisy knows no bounds. Now, it's not to say that dirty games don't get played on both sides. It's politics, and politics is dirty games. But the thing is that the right still plays by certain rules. The left plays by no rules at all. Anything they can do to win, no matter the cost, even if it costs us the country and the unity we could have had as a people. But I am so sick of hearing terms like insurrection or coup or what's the other one they use? Armed protest or armed riot or however they use that. I am absolutely sick of it. Do you really think? I mean, if you are a thinking person, I mean, you're going to think it's true that it's an insurrection or a coup if you're not a thinking person. If you don't care to even figure out what really happened, look at all the different evidences, look at the various live feeds, look at the definition of what really is an insurrection, what really is a coup, and realize, oh yeah, they are 100% not that. But you don't, if you're on the left and you believe that. You're completely satisfied living in this little bubble of ignorant bliss that you're in. The other one that really pisses me off is this whole thing about armed protest, the armed protest of the right, or they call it far right. Far right is anybody who does not agree with them. In fact, there's a piece that came out through CNN of three men talking, and they have said some awful things about the right, and as far as how essentially the entire right should be shut down. I'm going to do that. I'll play that after a bit. Not in this video, but later. But I'm so sick of hearing about things like this armed protest, making it appear that the right is crazy, making it appear that conservatives are nuts, that they're these gun-toting crazy individuals who are going to go out and just try to have this huge insurrection and coup. You want to know what an armed protest looks like on the right? Do you really want to know what it looks like? Look at the one that's been in Virginia for the last couple of years, about this time of year at the state the Capitol building. Thousands of people getting together, all armed, and when they leave, it's cleaner than when they got there. Nobody's hurt. Nothing happens. They never use their weapons, even when opposition shows up. That's what an armed protest of the right really looks like. And you know what is just despotic and dirty? Reporters from the left who were there, they literally took trash and shells of spent ammo and threw them on the ground themselves. And it's been documented and it's been caught. And it's known that this is 100% true, and took photos of it to make it appear that the right is something that they are not. That is the dirty game they play. You want to know what, you want to see the hypocrisy? Look at this right here. This is it. These are images of NFAC, Not Effing Around Committee. These are an all-black militia, or they call themselves a militia, all armed, as you can see, and they've shown up in places like Kentucky and Stone Mountain, Georgia, and various other areas, led by a guy who calls himself Grandmaster Jay. Look at that. Protest. Armed. These guys are straight left-wing. These guys are straight pro-BLM. You want to know who does not say they do not have a right to be out there? The right. Conservatives. We literally look at them and say, that is cool. We completely disagree with what you're doing, with what your message is, but it's cool that you're out there and that you're doing that. It's cool that you're bearing arms. It's cool that you're exercising a protest. When you tell somebody that they cannot have an armed protest, that is literally stepping on the First and Second Amendments, the right to peacefully protest, the right to gather, the right to bear arms. That is how filthy, despotic, dirty, and just full of lunacy these people are, in order to make another side look bad, to shut them down and to shut them up, and to turn an entire culture around against them. But they can only do that if they have low information individuals, and they thrive on low information individuals. Without them, there would be no Democrat Party. It's at least certainly not one that's in power like it is now. You want to know what NFAC was doing when they were in Stone Mountain, Georgia? Not only were they protesting, as you see in these pictures, they literally were stopping cars driving through. Stone Mountain, Georgia is a state park. They were literally stopping cars driving through, if they were white individuals in the car, demanding they pay reparations to them before they can pass on through. Police never showed up. Oh, but the police would, if there was an armed black man, the police would come in and they would kill them down because they're just hunting black men down in the streets, and they're just dying by the thousands and hundreds of thousands and the millions. Absolutely effing not. Not happening, not true. You want to know who did not show up with all these armed individuals stopping cars demanding payment in order to go through to a state park? The police. They didn't show up. They left them alone. Or the way that they try to take advantage and lie about the situation of the likes of Kyle Rittenhouse, who was defending his own life, calling him a racist and a white nationalist and a white supremacist. He was a white guy, and he defended himself against who? White people. Had nothing to do with anybody of color. So you keep hearing this, well, he had a gun and he ran free. You know what? He never got shot. The police never bothered him. I showed you the MFAC stuff. You know what? Shut up. Shut up. I'm just up to here. Not with your genuine concerns, but with your spreading of these uncontrollable lies that you cannot even help yourself but spit out. You can't help it. You know what you are? When you're somebody who's going around putting that kind of stuff out, if that's you, you're a product. You are just a product. You no longer think for yourself. You've given that up. You no longer bother to go back. You have the internet at your disposal. You can research anything you want. But you don't. You take what you're told, you regurgitate it, you spit it out. It's like a game of human centipede, and you all are just tied together front to back. But it's not one in the front and one in the end. It's a giant circle. And you keep spitting out, regurgitating the same filth. And you're throwing it over everybody else. I'm sick of it. Shut up. Just shut up. I'm sick of this being shut down and shoved into the corner and demanded that you shut up and you submit. Well, I'm not one to submit. Nor am I going to. And I am encouraging other people that you do not either. There's going to be more videos coming out on this soon. I'm not encouraging you for violence. Hear me on that. I'm not suggesting violence. That's not what I'm saying. But do not submit to them. In fact, the more that they push us down, the more we just keep popping up in other areas. So pay attention for a video to come. This is essentially just an intro to it, just to let you know it's on the way, called So Was Born the Phoenix. Because, yeah, you just keep doing this to us. So was born the Phoenix.